Episode 6. This is the full macaron. This episode is all about something really, really important. The continuation of the IS-LM curve. We need to know on a graph what it looks like when you have the expansionary monetary policy when it comes to the IS and the LM relations. So, yeah. What we can see is that with an expansionary monetary policy, we have a decrease in the interest rate. Now, since on the LM curve, the interest rate is the y-axis, so that just means that our LM moves downward, shifts down, so we can see there's a new point of equilibrium. And we can also see on another graph how the central bank actually implements this expansionary monetary policy by also expanding money supply. And the reason why the money supply is going to increase and shift outward is because if you keep putting the interest rate down and that stimulates more demand for money, the government will have to eventually supply the money to meet that demand. We can also have a mix of the expansionary fiscal and monetary policy at the same time. But bear in mind, this usually only happens in recessions. Like, you're not going to get the government put in their two big guns as often as possible or just on a normal little day. It's going to happen when the country's in a crisis, you know? That's when we pull out these two bad boys. And of course, the opposite can be done for a contractionary policy as well. It doesn't always have to just be for expansionary. Like, we can go both ways. Yeah. And then the last thing to learn is the liquidity trap. Sounds so scary. So there's a limit to how much the FED or central bank can keep providing money and increasing money supply as they lower the interest rates. Even though, as Kendall Jenner famously once said, money does grow on trees because it's paper. But not in the UK anymore because it's plastic. But with plastic even more so, we could and should just keep making it. Anyway, you can't just keep on lowering the interest rate because at some point it will just get to zero, right? But then that also means that there's no cost in like holding bonds, just everything becomes almost senseless. If there is no interest rate, there's no sense of doing a lot of other actions that are affected by the interest rate. So for example, borrowing or saving, bonds, like all of that, which usually is affected by the interest rate, no longer has that influence coming in. Because beforehand, the only benefit to not holding all of your money as money or all of your wealth as money, so just keeping cash in the house, the only reason we don't really do that is because there's interest rates associated. So you can invest, whether it's in bonds or just keeping it in the bank as investment. If everything is an all-time zero, okay, nowadays, of course, everything is just so money free, like everybody just uses cards. So an aspect of that is included that in society, we just don't really use cash anymore. But in theory, so just, you know, for your economic theory, there is benefit to holding your wealth as bonds or in the bank for interest rates. Otherwise, theoretically, we would just be using it cash. We would just be holding it as money that's cash, which we can straight away be using to trade. So if interest rate is an all-time zero or goes to that point of zero, then we might as well just keep money or keep our wealth as money, cash. So that's the point at which the monetary policy just is no longer effective. So this is where we have to bring in the fiscal policy, because otherwise you can't really do anything to stimulate, contract, or expand the economy. So that's when you start using your taxes and your government spending. Girly pops, that's all for today. You have a sweet little day. This is good. And don't forget, you can book in one-on-one tutoring sessions with me. Read below how to do it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Yeah? Come back.